Hello, America. It's Bianca, GOP girl and Clean TV Live. They're here. Yes, they're here. Who am I speaking of? I'm speaking of Muslims. I'm speaking of radical Muslims right here in the United States. I just went to the supermarket and in a brand new, shiny Range Rover, I saw a carload, I believe there were 3, there may have been 4 Muslims. Now, one had a red and white Saudi turban with the band around, looked like he was straight from Saudi Arabia. He probably was. The man driving the car got out to go into the supermarket. He was wearing a full robe, a full brown tunic. I know there may have been 1 or 2 other men in the car because I saw the one that was left in the red and white turban, and he was in the passenger seat. Now, I guess people could say, oh, she's paranoid. You know what? No, I'm not paranoid. I lived in Miami. I know I saw with my own eyes Muhammad Atta and his associate. I know I saw the 2 9/11 hijackers that went on to be part of 19 hijackers that killed over 3,000 people. I was living in Miami. They were training in Opelika, Florida. This is what they do. They come to our neighborhoods. They come to our restaurants. They watch. They observe. And then at some point they strike. Now, when I went to go to the supermarket, I actually was waiting for someone to come out. And I saw the man in the long brown tunic go in, get out of the car. He had the full-on Muslim beard. He looked angry. And that's another thing I'll never forget about Muhammad Atta. Angry. And so was his friend. These people are angry and they hate us. Which brings me to President Trump's trip to Saudi Arabia, which many are touting as a full-on success. And yes, it was quite something to watch. It was historic. We have Obama that had made the deal with Iran, and that obviously caused friction between Saudi Arabia and the United States. So Obama was snubbed when he went to Saudi Arabia after he signed the Iranian deal. President Trump got off the plane and he was met by the king. Wasn't it a great show? There was a red carpet. He was given it was the kingdom's top civilian honor, collar of Abdul Aziz Al Saud, and placed that gold chain with the medallion around his neck. And oh, wasn't that a moment? We had an American president that was being respected again by a Saudi, by the king of Saudi Arabia. Now, do you all know President Obama, who I am not a fan of in the least, had already signed a $115 billion arms deal with Saudi Arabia. He signed that deal, and he actually stopped providing them, or did not provide him with the missile defense system, because Saudi Arabia wants to destroy Yemen. Now, we have just signed, thanks to Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner was involved in this $110 billion deal that could go up to over $300 billion. Sounds nice, right? Now, I want you to all check out this columnist, okay? It's an author and nationally syndicated columnist. If you won't listen to me, listen to this man, Cal Thomas of the Tribune. He wrote in the Courier and Press. Listen to this, okay? These are his words, not mine. President Trump's speech was written by Westerners, delivered by a Westerner, and based on faulty Western premise, namely that radical Muslims can be persuaded to abandon their goal of establishing a worldwide caliphate. Remember, 15 of the 19 hijackers were Saudi. Again, Cal Thomas. It is a central theological principle of Wahhabism, I have no idea how to pronounce that, an austere form of Islam based on a literal interpretation of the Quran, which Saudi Arabia for years promoted in children's textbooks, in mosques, and through its media. Listen to this. No reporter asked the central question that should have been put to Saudi Foreign Minister Adel Al-Jubeir during his press availability with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson. This is the question this reporter, Cal Thomas, is saying that should have been asked. Since Saudi Arabia's domestic and foreign policy is based on a theological worldview, have those views changed? And if so, how did that revelation come to you? Now, I've said again and again, the religion of Islam is evil. Now, I'm sure there are some good ones, and the good ones do not completely follow the Quran. I was told one day by a man, "Oh, my friend's a Muslim." And you're wrong. Muslims like dogs. No, they don't. In the Quran, you are not allowed to have a dog. Dogs are dirty. Dogs are only to be used to hunt or to protect their crops or to protect their livestock. Those who follow the Quran, which is the majority that are here, and they are here, they believe in the caliphate. The caliphate which wants to kill all of us. I mean, I'm seriously concerned with the naivety of our president. I support President Trump, and I want a full travel ban. I want all Muslims banned right now. Because, did you know, today, 12 were killed in Mosul, Iraq. Caliphate members they went to a hospital and they executed a dozen people. Okay, yesterday, 18 were killed in Afghanistan, another 6 injured. Suicide bomber slaughtered 18 people at a bus station. Yesterday also, as you all know, there were 19 killed in the Philippines, and they were slain by Muslim extremists. Now, you're not getting the real news from the news, because I know none of you know that there have been, in the past 30 days, 177 attacks in 25 countries, killing 1,168 people and injuring 1,123 people. What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for the caliphate is here, okay? And the media knows they're going to hit. They know it's going to happen, and they're trying to blame Trump. It is not going to be Trump's fault. It is not going to be Trump's fault because of his rhetoric, because he wants to ban Muslims from 6 countries that sponsor terrorism. Had President Trump read the 28 missing pages of the 9/11 report, I don't think he would have even so much as gone to Saudi Arabia. Those 28 missing pages showed that there was a connection between the Saudi government and the 15 hijackers, or some of them rather. 28 missing pages taken from the Congressional Joint Inquiry into the 9/11 report that stated that there was Saudi involvement. Well, the United States, some of the 9/11 hijackers were said to be in contact with and receive support, money, or assistance from individuals that may have connections to the Saudi government. People, we have just, in addition to Obama, Jared Kushner has negotiated a deal that this is what Saudi Arabia is going to be buying from us. We are going to be supplying them with planes, ships, precision-guided bombs, fighter jets, combat ships, tanks, and a sophisticated radar system that can destroy ballistic missiles. Have we just given Saudi Arabia the weapons to destroy us in the future? Maybe we won't be here for it. Our children will. Maybe we will be here for it. I am a Christian, however, I do not know a lot about the Bible. But those who read the Bible say everything is happening as according to plan. Everything is happening. Evil is destroying us. When you have, since 9/11, 30,901 attacks, what's happened? You've gotten used to it. Mainstream media has gotten used to it. Our leaders have gotten used to it. We've gotten used to and almost desensitized to the fact that terrorism is taking place on almost a daily basis. And yet, no one seems concerned within our government. The Saudi show looked good. Maybe the king can be trusted. Personally, I don't think he can. I thank you for watching, and I hope you share this video because this is serious. We need to let our leaders know that we are not racist. We are in fear for our lives. And you know what? Considering Saudi Arabia doesn't allow flights from Israel to Saudi Arabia, Jews aren't allowed in many Muslim countries. Why can't we ban all Muslims? There are 50 Muslim nations. They can travel throughout. They don't need to come here. And when I go to a supermarket and I see a man in a Saudi red and white turban and another one in a robe down to his ankles and sandals looking like he's from biblical times, get out. And let me tell you, these are not happy people. These are people here on a mission. Oh, quickly. And hotspot. Hotspot I went to about 6 months ago. 2 Muslims sitting in the corner drinking water. They're at a bar/restaurant. They're not eating. They're not drinking. No. They're observing. And they're observing. And they don't want to mingle. They're observing. Again, share this video. And happy Memorial Day. And let us remember those who fight for us. And let us remember that we need to forever fight for our freedom. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.